welcome to my channel, or welcome back to my channel. My name is Andy, sometimes Mouse, and I talk about books and book-related things, and today I am giving you my Clear Your Shit TBR, which I am very excited about. Now, I will give a few heads up and disclaimers. If you don't know what Clear Your Shit is, I did just post an announcement video week before last, so you can go check that out. If you do know what Clear Your Shit is and you think you're gonna get all of the secret prompts here, you're not. But I am going to tell you what I'm reading for the secret prompts, but you're not going to know what they are. I am kind of debating on whether or not I should give them to the patrons, though, so we will see. I also am going to disclaim that I'm not going to put the, or I'm not going to say what the prompt is, but I will put it down here in edits so that you can follow along to see why I'm reading what I'm reading. So let's go ahead and get started. First up, for the Gemini prompt, I will be reading Medusa's Sisters by Lauren J.A. Baer. Even before they were transformed into Gorgons, Medusa and her sisters, Sthetho and Euryale, were unique among immortals. Curious about mortals and their lives, Medusa and her sisters entered the human world in a search of a place to belong, yet quickly found themselves at the perilous center of a dangerous Olympian rivalry and learned, too late, that a god's love is a violent one. Forgotten and diminished by poets, the other two Gorgons have never been more than horrifying hags, damned and doomed, but they were sisters first, and their journey from sea-born origins to the outskirts of the Parthenon is a journey that rests hidden underneath their scales. I'm excited to read this because I actually don't know a ton about the Gorgons, and I think that it would be interesting. For Libra, I asked Phil to choose between two different books for me, and Phil chose Page Boy by Elliott Smith. This is Elliott Smith's memoir that has been relatively highly acclaimed, I feel, and so I'm interested to read his details of growing up, especially within Hollywood, and how that affected his mental health and relationships and that kind of thing. So I think that will be a really interesting read, and I'm excited to include a nonfiction in this whole spiel of books. Next, for Aquarius, we have The Dragon's Promise by Elizabeth Lim. This is the Six Crimson Cranes sequel. I will probably need to reread Six Crimson Cranes because it's been so long. Princess Shiori made a deathbed promise to return the dragon's pearl to its rightful owner, but keeping that promise is more dangerous than she ever imagined. The pearl itself is no ordinary cargo. It thrums with malevolent power, jumping to Shiori's aid one minute and betraying her the next, threatening to shatter her family and sever the thread of fate that binds her to her true love, Taken. I'm probably saying that wrong, sorry in advance. It will take every ounce of strength Shiori can muster to defend the life and the love that she's fought so hard to win. And then for the air element prompt, I will be reading Skeleton Song by Shauna McGuire, which is a Wayward Children series novella, the 7.7 in the series. Children have always disappeared under the right conditions, slipping through the shadows under a bed or at the back of a wardrobe, tumbling down rabbit holes and into old wells, and emerging somewhere else. Adventures are always interesting, but they're not always happy. I don't have a whole lot of guidance on what this novella is about, but I'm excited about reading it because I enjoy these books a lot. And then for the air signs as a whole prompt, we have Speak of the Devil by Rose Wilding. 7 women stand in shock in a seedy hotel room. A man's severed head sits in the center of the floor. Each of the women, the wife, the teenager, the ex, the journalist, the colleague, the friend, and the mother and the woman who raised him, has a very good reason to have done it, yet each swears she did not. In order to protect each other, they must figure out who is responsible, all while staying one step ahead of the police. This just seems interesting. I love a thriller, right? So this also, my TBR for Clear Your Shit is like, I feel like very heavy on thriller and horror. It is what it is though. For the MiniBoss, my strength is book realist, and I will not be telling you what that prompt is. However, I will be reading Everything the Darkness Eats by Eric LaRocca. After a recent string of disappearances in a small Connecticut town, a grieving widower with a grim secret is drawn into a dangerous ritual of dark magic by a powerful and mysterious older gentleman named Hart Crowley. Meanwhile, a member of local law enforcement tasked with uncovering the culprit responsible for the bizarre disappearances soon begins to learn of a current of unbridled hatred simmering beneath the guise of the town's idyllic community. A hatred that will eventually burst and forever change the lives of those who once found peace in the quiet town of Henley's Edge. We shall see. Next up, we have A Winter's Promise by Christelle Dabos for the Taurus prompt. Long ago, following a catalysm called the Rupture, the world was shattered into many floating celestial islands. Known now as arcs, each has developed in distinct ways. Each seems to possess its own unique relationship to time, such that nowadays vastly different worlds exist, together but apart. And all over the arcs is the spirit of an omnipotent ancestor that abides. Ophelia lives on Anima, an arc where objects have souls. Beneath her worn scarf and thick glasses, the young girl hides the ability to read and communicate with the souls of objects and the power to travel through mirrors. Her peaceful existence on the arc of Anima is disrupted when she is promised in marriage to Thorn, the powerful dragon clan. From the powerful dragon clan. Ophelia must leave her family and follow her fiancé to the floating capital on the distant arc of the pole. Why has she been chosen? Why must she hide her true identity? Though she doesn't know it yet, she has become a pawn in a deadly plot. With this one, I can honestly say I have had this marked as something that I wanted to read for a really long time because I saw the cover and I thought it looked really cool. So here we are, and that is why it is on my TBR, literally. That's it. I thought the cover looked cool, which I think is clearly a good basis for the prompt. So, next for Virgo prompt, we have The Society of Soulless Girls by Laura Stephen. 10 years ago, 4 students lost their lives in the infamous North Tower murders at the elite Carvel College of Arts, forcing Carvel to close its doors. Now, Carvel is reopening, and fearless student Lottie is determined to find out what really happened. But when her roommate Alice stumbles upon a sinister, soul-splitting ritual hidden in the Carvel's haunted library, the North Tower claims another victim. Can Lottie uncover the truth before the North Tower strikes again? Can Alice reverse the ritual before her monstrous alter ego consumes her? And can they stop flirting for literally 15 seconds in order to do this? Art recommended this book to me, and then when it came up as available at the library, she continued to yell about it to me, so I will be reading it. For the Capricorn prompt, I will be reading The Remarkable Retirement of Edna Fisher by E.M. Anderson. I did talk about this on the releases I was excited for video, and that's because this is a release I am excited for, and I'm really glad that I'm going to be reading it for this readathon, because I kind of put it off because I knew I would have to read it with my eyes, because I don't think there's an audiobook available, so here we are. When you're a geriatric armed with nothing but gumption and knitting noodles, stopping a sorcerer from wiping out an entire dragon fighting organization is a tall order. Essentially, the chosen one is actually this 83-year-old woman named Edna Fisher instead of what you would normally think, a teenager or anything. She is determined to essentially save her son, but she's learning about save her son and work for or help these dragon fighters, but then she discovers that maybe they're not everything that she thought they were, which a cab, because they seem like they're cops. I don't know, but that's what it seems like. Next for Earth Element, we have Mary by Nat Cassidy. Mary is a quiet, middle-aged woman doing her best to blend into the background. Unremarkable, invisible, unknown even to herself. But lately, things have been changing inside Mary. Along with the hot flashes and the body aches, she can't look in a mirror without passing out, and the voices in her head have been urging her to do unspeakable things. Fired from her job in New York, she moves back to her hometown, hoping to reconnect with her past and inner self. Instead, visions of terrifying mutilated specters overwhelm her with increasing regularity, and she begins auto-writing strange thoughts and phrases. Mary discovers that these experiences are echoes of an infamous serial killer. Then the killings begin again. Mary's definitely going to find herself. This just sounds crazy. It just sounds like a trip. So, yeah. Next we have Garden of Earthly Bodies by Sally Oliver. Months after her sister's death, Mary Ann wakes up to find a growth of thick black hairs along her spine. They defy her attempts to remove them, instead proliferating, growing longer. The hairs, Mary Ann's doctor tells her, are a reaction to trauma developed in the wake of the loss of her sister Marie. Her doctor recommends that Mary Ann visits Need, a modern New Age rehabilitation center in the remote forest in Wales, where patients attend unorthodox therapy sessions and commune with nature. Sounds fine. Totally sounds fine. Yet something strange is happening to Mary Ann and the other patients at Need. A metamorphosis of kinds. As the hairs on her back continue to grow, the past starts to entangle itself with the present, and the borders of her consciousness threatens to disintegrate. She finds herself drawn back compulsively to the memory of Marie, obsessing over her the impulse that drew her sister towards death and splintered her family apart. As Mary Ann's memories threaten to overwhelm her, Need offers her the release from this cycle of memory and pain, but only at a terrible price. Her identity. that doesn't sound scary at all. It sounds like a totally good time. I personally don't see an issue at all. For the side quest, which I will be, if I have not already and already posted at this current moment, I do not know, posting a guide on what, how to choose a book with the DFZ series. When I say the DFZ series by Rachel Aaron, I am specifically referring to the books set within DFZ, which is predominantly Rachel Aaron's writing library, right? But I don't know why I said that, like you guys would know. But I will be reading book 2 in the DFZ Changeling series because it just came out. But again, there's 3 different series. You can read all of them or don't read all of them or read them in whatever order you want. It really doesn't matter. I'm just going to be reading the most recent one because I happen to have, I've read all of the rest of them. I might be rereading some of the other books because I have terrible memory, but that is to be determined. And for the free space, I honestly wasn't sure if I was going to skip the free space or actually do it. That I am actually going to be doing the free space spot. I didn't know until like I wrote this TBR and I was like, no, I have a book I want to read for this. So we have A House with Good Bones by T. Kingfisher. Mom seems off. Her brother's words echo in Sam Montgomery's ears as she turns onto the quiet North Carolina street where their mother lives alone. She brushes the thought away as she climbs the front steps. Sam's excited for this rare extended visit and looking forward to nights with just the 2 of them, drinking boxed wine, watching murder mystery shows, and guessing who the killer is long before the characters figure it out. But stepping inside, she quickly realizes home is not what it used to be. Gone is the warm, cluttered charm her mom is known for. Now the walls are painted a sterile white. Her mom jumps at the smallest noise and looks over her shoulder even when she's the only person in the room. And when Sam steps out back to clear her head, she finds a jar of teeth hidden beneath the magazine-worthy rose bushes, and vultures are circling the garden from above. To find out what's got her mom so frightened in her own home, Sam will go digging for the truth, but some secrets are better left buried. I love T. Kingfisher's writing, and I love T. Kingfisher's horror especially, so I don't know, I'm excited about this one. We will see how it goes. But that is my TBR part 1, essentially, for Clear Your Shit. Obviously, in December, I will be posting my part 2 for Clear Your Shit. But I'm very excited for this year's readathon. I'm excited for the story. I've talked about it a bunch of times, so I don't need to repeat myself. But yeah, if you have any questions about Clear Your Shit, I'm pretty sure I covered most of it in the announcement video, so go take a look at that, or look at the website or anything. There's so much information out there. And that's my TBR. I hope that you enjoyed this video. If you did, and there's any of these books that you're gonna read or you're curious about any of them, please leave a comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe and share. If you didn't enjoy this video, let me know how I can make it better for you, unless it's subjective and then I can't. I post videos every Tuesdays and Thursdays at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, excluding the first week of the month most of the time. I think that's it. Don't forget to take your meds, drink your water, and do something today to take care of yourselves, like reading books that you've had for a long time, owned and unread, maybe? I don't know. Okay, thanks, bye.